Let's move now to Cape Town, and District 6 residents are gathering today to discuss a High Court order compelling the Rural Development Minister to come up with a comprehensive plan for their area. Now, in May, a court ordered the then Minister, Maite Nkoana Mashabane, to submit a plan for the development of District 6. But that never happened, and she was found to be in contempt of court. Toko Didiza is now the Rural Development Minister, and our reporter Aisha Ishmael is at that meeting in District 6 this morning, and she joins us now. Good morning to you, Aisha. Please tell us a little bit more about the background to this area. The District 6 is such a historic area, and it has been neglected in so many ways, hasn't it?
Good morning, Sally. Yes, I'm coming to you from a meeting here in Salt River, where there are hundreds of former residents and claimants from District 6 meeting here to hear about the plans in place for them to return to District 6. Now, just as you say, to give you a bit of background, in 1966 the apartheid government declared District 6 a whites-only area and forcibly removed about 60,000 people from District 6 and literally flung them onto the Cape Flats. And now people are wanting to return to District 6. Now, we know that after 1994 there were plans in place to get people to go back to District 6. There was a whole restitution process, and in the past 25 years, not many people have been able to return to District 6 for various reasons. It was an issue of money, it was an issue of rezoning, and of course there have been different forms of government involved. It has been the City of Cape Town, the Western Cape government, and as well as national government. But I'm now joined by the chairperson of the District 6 working group, Rashid Ajam, who's going to tell us about the plans in place. But before he tells us about these plans, remember there's a court ruling. The court ruled last year against the former Minister of Land Affairs and Rural Development. She was found to be in contempt of court because she didn't meet certain deadlines, and now the new Minister, Toko Didiza, has been, and I don't want to say saddled with a problem because it's not really a problem. She has agreed to comply with this court order, to put time frames in place, to make money available, and to speed up the process of the hundreds, or if not thousands, of people who have been waiting for years to return to District 6. And now I'm going to talk to Rashid Ajam, who is the chairperson of the of the working committee of District 6, to talk to us about these plans for people to return to District 6. You certainly seem to be very excited about the new minister's plans and about the court order. What is the latest news about the restitution and plans for people to return to District 6?
Well, good morning to you. You know, what makes us all very excited and positive is, in fact, that the court is now, that is the Land Claims Court, is now the official supervisor of the redevelopment in District 6. So it means that the minister has to conform with the court order, and we know that that order was given in November 2018 by Judge Kolopin, where he pertinently ordered, and I'll give it to you verbatim, that the minister must give an indicative conceptual layout for the redevelopment of District 6 with sufficient detail to determine the number and layout of the residential units to be allocated to the claimants. So that is one thing. Then the second order was that the government should also give specific details of how the plan is to be funded, including the funding, or rather including the budget to be allocated by the government for the execution of the plan. And then, of course, they must give estimated timeframes for the implementation of the plan, broken into appropriate intermediate milestones. And then lastly, of course, the methodology that will be applied in allocating residential units among the claimants. So that is fantastic, and that is an official order from the court. So there's no way that government can get out of this. And that, for us, especially the people of District 6, they've waited 20 years for something like this. They've waited for something concrete, for something positive and something tangible. The courts have now come to their rescue, and we are very grateful for that. And with that, I also want to say that the new minister, Ms. Toko Didiza, she has worked wonderfully with the people of District 6, especially with the District 6 Working Committee. We have had many meetings behind closed doors in the last few months. She has had a technical team working with our technical team, working with the City of Cape Town's technical team. So that has been a wonderful experience as well. So all three of these teams have come up with a concept of how District 6 should look.
Mr. Ajam, the question is, how soon can we expect people to move back to District 6?
The project for the entire, as we have worked it out, is that people can move back between 2.5 and 3 years for the latest. It seems like a long time, but a year passes by so quickly, and at least we know that that construction will start as early as maybe February 2020 in District 6. So that is some inspiration for the people. We waited 20 years. Now, I'm sure that we can wait another 2.5 to 3 years. We will not stretch it to 5 years. We will keep it at a minimum. So I think 2.5 years would be good enough for 954 families to move back. And then, of course, we must think of the other families that still has to move back, and that is, the people that claim between 2014 and 2016. So a lot of ground has been allocated for a lot of people, coming back to District 6 in future.
Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you so much.
So, Sally, there you can see the chairperson of the District 6 working group talking about concrete plans in place for former residents of District 6 to return.
Very interesting there, Aisha, because what he was saying really is that they are now going to get clarity and detail. Detail seems to be the missing link here, that they're going to find out exactly the allocation, the budget, the time frames, and incredibly encouraging news that construction could start as early as February, which means that in 2 to 3 years' time, these claimants who, as he says, have waited 20 years, will be resettled once again in District 6.
That is indeed so, and sadly a lot of the claimants have passed on, and also the fact that the claimants had to go to court to compel government to return people to District 6. It has taken them many years. Now there's a court order on the table compelling the Minister of Land and Rural Affairs to now give them time frames to set aside money and to give people dates and say on such and such a date the construction will start, and as Mr. Ajam has said, within 2 to 3 years people will be able to return to District 6.
Now, Aisha, I know that you've covered this story extensively. Why has it taken so long? Is it because this area is now a highly sought-after area?
That is an element, but remember it's been 3 spheres of government. It's the City of Cape Town, it's the Western Cape Provincial Government, as well as national government. And of course, there have been factions within the District 6 area, within claimants, and that has also stalled the process. And I think now they've come to the table and they've realized that they can no longer argue about this. And as I said, many of the former claimants have passed on, and there is a need to get the ball rolling and to get people to return to District 6. And as you say, it is prime land, it's a sought-after area, it's slap bang in the city, and people from District 6 are saying we are the people who are entitled to go back to District 6 because we were the ones who were forcibly removed by the apartheid government during that 1966 Group Areas Act.
Thank you so much. That's Aisha Ismail in Cape Town, just giving us the very latest, some real hope there for the District 6 claimants. A court order has compelled government to move quickly, to give detail and to roll out the plan, and it seems construction on new housing units will begin as early as February next year. Well, let's